Okay, so let's go down here and we'll select the base, and let's just right click and hide unselected. Okay, and we'll also center the pivot point on this. So let's go to the hierarchy tab and we'll center the pivot point, then turn the button off. Let's go into the modify panel and we'll go into edge. Okay, we'll just select these center edges here, front and back. Let's do a connect. We'll just do one segment, no pinch or slide, and OK. We'll go into vertex and we'll select the verts on the left side of center and delete those. Okay, and that's just because we're going to need to make a little bit of modification to this piece before we can chamfer the edges. Alright, so let's see. This triangle here at the top is definitely going to give us a bit of a problem when we chamfer those two edges. So let's see, let's go into edge, we'll grab this edge here, let's do a chamfer on that one. Okay, let's take that down a bit. Let's do maybe 0.6 on that and OK. Okay, we'll go into the left view here, go into vertex, grab this vert here. Let's just move that over so it's straight. Right. Let's go into target weld and we'll weld this vert to that one. Okay, just like that. Right, and let's grab this one here. We'll turn off target weld. Grab this one. Actually, let's select this edge here. Alright, we'll just control backspace that. Right, then we'll select the vert at the top here. Okay, and in the top view, let's just move this over and we'll push it back. Alright, just like that. Okay, just so we have a bit of a notch here. And you can see this edge here isn't straight either, so let's grab these ones here. We'll just pull those up and try to straighten it out a bit, like that. Okay, we'll hit these, grab these two corner ones over here. Okay, these top ones. And we'll just pull this back a bit, just to straighten that edge out. Okay, and I'm just going to select all three of these here. I'm just going to give it a little bit more space. Okay. Right. Let's grab this one here. And in the top view, we'll just move that down a bit, closer to the corner. Alright, we'll do something like that maybe. And same with this bottom one here. Let's grab this guy. We'll just move him slightly over. Okay, we just want to give ourselves enough room so when we chamfer these edges, we don't have a bunch of verts crossing. Okay, something like that. We can actually go around the back here and select this edge and this one, and then control backspace those out. Alright. And I think that should be enough room. So let's turn off edge and we'll go into the left view here. Okay, and let's do a mirror. We'll do a copy on the X, hit OK. And then let's go to attach and we'll attach both sides together. Go into vertex, drag through the middle verts, and we'll just weld these up. Okay, and you just want a difference of 4 here. So okay. Okay, let's go to border, grab the top border, and do a cap. Alright. And let's control click edge. Alright, just so we have the whole top border selected. And we'll just chamfer that down a bit. And let's do maybe about 0.6 looks about okay. So we'll hit OK to that. Alright. We can actually select this front edge here and do a loop. And we can control backspace that out of there. We don't need that one. Okay, so let's select this corner edge over here and do a ring and a chamfer. Okay, and let's just take that down a little bit. Let's do maybe about 0.3 on that one, and we'll hit apply. Okay, and we'll just take this down a little bit. Let's do about 0.15 on that, and okay. Alright, we'll see how this looks. Let's turn off edge. Okay. And I think that looks okay. It might be a little bit sharper than our reference picture here, but that's alright. I don't want to spend too much time on this piece. Okay, so let's right click and we'll unhide all. Okay, and if we look at the reference picture here, you can see we have a little bit of an edge sticking out around this. Okay, so, and to get that we could probably use a push modifier maybe, but I think that might give us a little bit of problems on the corners here. So let's just try to scale this out a little bit in top view. Alright, so we'll zoom in here, and we'll go to scale, and we'll just scale up a little bit, just to bring it out. Okay, let's center this. We'll see how that looks. Okay, and in the left view, let's just scale it a little bit on the X, just to even it out. Alright, just like that. And I think that should be pretty good for the base. So we'll change the color to black. And let's just put the gray shader on there. Okay. Okay, so let's just quickly throw on these doors here, and these are pretty simple. There's really not much detail to them at all. Okay, so we'll start with the top one here. Let's go into the left view. Okay, zoom in here. Let's go into the modifier panel, we'll grab a box, and let's just drag this out, and we'll figure out the size in a second. Okay, let's get a little bit of height, and let's move it to the side. Okay, and we'll just push that right against it. Okay. And let's actually right click the move tool, zero out the Y spinner just to make sure it's centered to the leg. Okay, and let's just do maybe 40 by 60. We'll do maybe 2.4 so for the height. Okay, we'll just leave it at one segment each way. Right, just like that. Okay, so let's right click and we'll convert this to editable poly. Let's go in here and select this corner edge and we'll do a ring. Okay. And let's do a chamfer on that. Alright, and we'll just bring this up quite a bit to round the corners over. Let's do maybe 3 on that. And then we'll hit apply and we'll do another one. Okay, let's do 1 on the second one. And apply, and we'll do a third one here just to make sure it's really smoothed out. Okay, we'll do 0.45 for the third one. And okay, and that'll give us a pretty nice rounded corner. Right. And I think I'll just do it straight. I don't think I'm going to put this angle on the top side here. Okay, so let's just go into the left view, and let me just select the leg here. Let's get out of edge. Select the leg and leg base, and we'll just hide unselect it. Okay, so we just have these 3 objects left, just so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, so let's move this up. Right, and it's pretty close to the top. We'll do it something like that, maybe line up with this edge here. And I think that's probably okay for the size. Okay. So let's hold shift and we'll drag another copy down and choose copy with 1 and okay. And let's just change the color of these. Okay, and for the second one here, let's go up to rotate and we'll turn on our angle snaps. Let's rotate that 90 degrees. Okay, and we'll move it down a bit. And these are pretty tight together. So we'll push it up a bit, maybe like that. Okay, and we'll also scale it a little bit on the X just to make it a little bit wider. Okay, and then we'll do another shift drag down to about there. And this one's pretty small, so let's just scale this down on the Y. Okay, maybe something like that. Okay, and one more time down onto that extruded piece at the bottom. And okay. And we want this one to be pretty close to the size of that extrude, so let's just go into vertex, grab the bottom ones, and make sure you have ignore backfacing turned off. Okay, we'll just pull that down a bit. I'm just going to leave a little bit of a reveal here. Okay, grab the sides. Actually, let's just scale it. Turn off vertex. We'll go into scale. We'll scale it in on the X. Okay, just something like that. And then we'll also move it a little bit forward. Okay, just so it's sitting on that extrude. And it's a little bit more rectangle than the one we have here, but that's okay. Okay. Okay, so let's go up here and select the top one. And actually forgot to chamfer the edge on it, so let's just go into polygon. We'll select the top or the front face, and then we'll control click edge, and we'll just do a chamfer. Okay, and let's do maybe 0.5, and actually let's do that a little bit tighter. Let's do maybe 0.35. Alright, just to make that a little bit sharper. And let's hit apply, and we'll do a double on this one as well. Okay, and for the second one we'll just do 0.15. Okay, and let's do that on all of these actually. Okay, so we'll turn that off, go to the second one, select its front poly, control click edge, do a chamfer. Okay, we'll do that the same amount. Let's do 0.35 and apply, and then 0.15 on the second one, and okay. And we should have done this before we made our copies, but it'll only take a second to fix it. Okay, so we'll repeat the process on these ones. Okay, and the last one down here. Control click edge, chamfer. Okay, so those are some pretty simple doors. Okay, let's just actually name them. Let's call this leg door 01. Okay, and we'll just copy the name out of there. We'll just paste it into the other ones. Okay, so let's do 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then we'll select everything, and we'll change the color to black, and put the gray shader on there. Okay, so just like that. And the next thing we'll do is just add a couple of simple bolts, and you can't really tell what these look like, but they're pretty simple. Okay, so I think we'll just do a 6-sided bolt or something for this. Okay, so let's go up to the top door here. Okay, we'll go into the grid panel, and let's grab a cylinder. Let's just drag that out. And these don't need to be that big. Okay, let's do maybe 1.2 or so for the radius. Let's do 1.3. Okay, and let's also move it out. Right, and we'll just push it right into the surface a little bit. Okay, and you can just hit Z on the keyboard to zoom on that piece. Okay, so just like that. Alright, and for the height, let's do 0.7. We don't need any height segments. We don't really need any cap segments, and let's just do 6 sides. Okay, so just a pretty simple bolt like that. Okay, so let's right click and convert this to editable poly. We'll go into polygon here, and I'm just going to go into wireframe with F3, and we'll spin around the back and select the back polygon and delete it. Okay. Then we'll go into edge, and let's just actually do a ring on these edges here, and a chamfer. Okay, and we'll take that down to a small amount. Let's do maybe 0.4 or 0.04 and OK. Then we'll select the front polygon and control click edge. Okay, and we'll just chamfer that front edge down. And let's do that a little bit more. Let's do 0.05 on that and OK. Okay, so pretty simple. Let's just call this door bolt 01. Okay, let's also center its pivot point. And in the left view here, let's just make some copies of this. And I'm not going to try to match the exact layout of the bolts on the reference picture. I'm just going to put a bunch of copies in. Okay, so let's hold down Shift, and we're just going to drag a copy on the X. Okay, we'll just bring that over like that, and let's just turn this up. Do maybe 4 copies. Okay, then we'll hit H, we'll select all 5 of the bolts, and we'll just try to center those a bit. Okay, just like that. Then we'll shift drag a copy of those down to the bottom. Okay. Okay, just like that, and then we'll go to rotate and hold Shift, and we'll just rotate a copy 90 degrees. Okay, choose copy. Let's just put these over on the side. And let's maybe just do 3 on the side. Let's do it like this. Let's put those like there maybe. And then we'll just delete the top 2. Okay, just delete those. And we'll just space those evenly. And then we'll shift drag them over to the other side. And try to line them up the same way. Okay, so just like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing here on the other ones. Let's just select maybe these 4 here. Okay, and we'll shift drag those down to the next door. Okay. And I'm going to go pretty fast on this part. Alright, so just take your time and just position them the way that you want. Okay, so we'll do another shift rotate 9 degrees and OK. Let's just move these up here. Let's put it maybe right there. Okay, and then we'll select the 2 bottom guys here. And just get a shift drag a copy of those down. Okay, just like that. Right, and then we'll select the bottom 4 again and clone them down here. And again. Okay, then we'll rotate them. Let's just do 3 maybe on the side. We'll delete this top one. And we'll just shift drag these over here. And OK. And let's do maybe these 3 here. Just going to line these up a little bit better with the center edge. Okay, and let's grab these 3 up here. We'll just pull these down. Okay, and then we'll select the 2 bottom ones again and just clone those down to get our last bolt there. Okay, so just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And those bottom ones are actually inside, so let's just select all the bolts on the bottom here. Okay, and we'll just pull those out so they're sitting on the surface. Alright, just intersect them a little bit. just like that. Okay, so that'll take care of the bolts on that part. Let's change the color of them. Okay, apply that gray shader. Okay, and as you can see here, these handles are really simple. Let's just throw those in quick. Right, so let's go into the top view here. Okay, I'm just going to zoom on these doors. And we'll go into the shapes, and let's grab a rectangle. Okay, we'll just draw that out. Like that, and we'll figure out the size in a second. Okay, let's go in here. Let's also right click the move tool and zero out the Y just to make sure it's centered. And we'll move this down onto the second door. Okay, put that about there. Okay, and let's go into the modify panel here. We'll open up the rendering tab and we'll check both these boxes. Okay, so it's a renderable spline. Alright, and let's also right click and convert it to editable spline. We'll drop this down and we'll go into segment. We'll grab the back segment there. Okay, just the one on this piece. Okay, so just drag through that and we'll delete that. Alright, let's turn that off, and for the radius we'll take this up a bit. Let's do about 2 on the thickness maybe. Okay, and then we'll go into the top view and let's see if the width is good. We could probably take the width in a bit. Okay. So let's just go into vertex. Let's grab the 2 verts on one side and we'll just shorten it up a little bit. Okay. Then we'll turn off vertex and we'll center its pivot point. Okay. Then we'll go to the move tool and we'll zero out the Y spinner again. Okay, just to make sure it's centered. Right. Okay, and let's go back into vertex. And in the top view, we'll select the 2 outer verts. Okay. We'll go down here to fillet. And in the top view, I'm just going to click and hold the button down and drag up. Okay, now I'll just round the corners over for us. Okay, so we'll do something like maybe 2.1 on the fillet. Alright, that's a pretty simple handle. So let's turn fillet off. And let's grab these back verts and we'll just shorten this up a little bit. I think it's a little too long. Okay, and then we'll move it into the door slightly. Okay, so it's just sitting in there like that. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, I think that's pretty good for the size. Let's name it. We'll just call it handle. Let's also change its color to black, and we'll throw the gray shader on there. Okay, so we'll just clone this around for the other doors, and all the other ones are vertical, so let's go to rotate and hold shift and rotate a copy 90 degrees. Choose copy and OK. Let's move this one straight down to the center of this door. Okay, and we'll do the same thing for the lower one. Let's shift drag a copy down there and position it in the center. And it doesn't have to be spot on, just eyeball it. Okay, and then last one, we'll shift drag another copy up to the top door. And we'll just move this over to the right. Okay, just like that. Okay. And I think that's all the details we'll do on the leg for now. We'll come back later on and get the rest of the brackets. Okay, so I think that looks okay. So we'll right click and unhide all. Alright. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is just put some kind of simple axle in the center here, just so it doesn't look like the barrel's just floating in the air. Okay, so we'll go into the left view again, and we'll zoom in on the top here, and we'll go into the crate panel, and let's grab a cylinder. Okay, let's just drag this out in the center of this door, say. Okay, we'll do something pretty big. Okay, we'll do a little bit of height. Let's do about 25 on the radius. And the height really doesn't matter, we'll do 10. Okay, let's do 2 height segments. Two cap segments. And we'll just do maybe 30 sides. Okay. And then top view here, let's just move this over. And we'll just push it into the leg a bit. Okay, and we're going to have to go farther in because we have that notch cut in there. Right? So just push it in until it intersects the leg. Okay, and in the left view we'll also right click the move tool and just zero out the Y spinner. Okay, I think that looks about right. And this really doesn't have to be detailed at all. Yeah, you'll never really see in here, so we'll just do this quick. Okay, so let's convert our cylinder to edit poly. Go into polygon, and then in the front view we'll select all the polys and then hold Alt and deselect the front and side ones. Okay, so the only thing we have selected is the cap inside the leg, and we can just delete that. Okay. Let me just go into isolation mode for a second with Alt Q. Okay. We'll go back into poly, and let's just select all these center polygons. Okay. We'll just extrude those out. Okay, and we'll just do 10 for now. And okay. And let's see, let's maybe do a chamfer on this edge. So we'll do a loop. Let me change the color here. Okay, we'll loop that edge and chamfer. And we'll just do something like 1 for that. Okay. And let's grab this one here. And we'll do a loop on that and chamfer. Bring this one down a little bit. Let's do 0.4. We'll hit apply. And we'll roll that second one over. Maybe 0.13 or so. And okay. Okay, then we'll go back into polygon and we'll delete these end polygons. Okay, so it's just like that. Open on both sides. Alright. Then we'll exit isolation mode here. We'll see if we need to adjust the length, and we do. You can see it's going right into these grill pieces here. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is go into the top view, just grab all the verts at the end. We'll just drag those over into the inside. And it doesn't really matter how long they are as long as they're past the surface. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to go and select the grill on the side. And let's go to group and we'll ungroup it. Okay. Let's select the grill again. And we might need to delete a couple of faces here, so let's go into polygon. We'll grab a poly on there and there. Okay. Then we'll turn that off and we'll go into isolation mode with Alt Q. Okay. And now we'll go back to polygon so we can see where they are. And in the left view I'm just going to drag right through these. Okay. And let's delete them. Make sure you have ignore back facing turned off when we do that. Okay. So just delete those ones. Okay, and you can see here we got a little bit of a bulge still where the chamfers were, but that really doesn't matter. You're never really going to see in here anyways. Okay, so we'll just go into edge. Let's grab the edge on the top and bottom of the hole, and let's hit bridge. Okay. Okay. And then that gives us a little bit of a hole here, so let's go into border, select that one, and let's do a cap on that. Okay, and you can skip this step if you really want to. This will be pretty hard to see on the final model, so it's really not necessary. But we'll just do it quick. Okay, so we'll cap that one, and then we'll do the same thing with the other two on the other side here. Okay, so just select these two edges, bridge, and then border. Select the border and cap. And last one up here. Grab these two edges, and we'll hit bridge and select the border and cap. Okay, and that'll close it in enough just in case you ever see in there. Alright, so let's exit isolation mode and we'll check this out. Okay, so our thing's cut around it pretty good here. Could also maybe grab these bolts in here, these two, as well as the ones at the bottom. Let me just try to get a better angle on this. This one here and this one. Just these 4 bolts, we'll delete those. We don't really need them. Okay. So let's select the axle and let's name it. Okay. And we'll change the color of that to black and put the shader on there. Okay. We'll also center its pivot point. And let's put a smooth modifier on there just to get rid of any of the faceting. Okay, so smooth and auto smooth. Okay, so that's pretty simple, but it should be good enough. Right, and we might actually be able to just move the whole leg in a little bit closer to the barrel. Okay, so in the front view here, I'm just going to select all the pieces of the leg and the axle. I'm just going to push that a little bit closer. Alright, maybe something like that. See how that looks. Okay. And then I think I'll select the actual axle here, and I'm just going to move it back a bit. Alright, just so we can see a little bit of the center part. Okay. Okay, so let's go around the other side here. We'll select our group for the grill, and let's just delete that because we're going to have to reclone it, so we cut that piece out. Okay, so let's go into the front view. And let's select the leg, all the pieces of the leg, the doors, and the bolts, as well as the axle. Okay, and we'll just group this for a second. Let's call it leg. And okay. Let's also center the pivot point. Okay. Alright. Okay, and now let's do a mirror. We'll do a copy on the X. Okay, then we'll right click the move tool and we'll just take the minus sign out of the x-axis and hit enter. Okay, and I'll move our copy over to the other side in the right place. So we'll close that. Okay. And let's do the same thing with the grill here. Okay, we'll just select both leg groups and we'll hide those for a second. Okay, and let's just select everything here, and then we'll hold Alt and we'll deselect the entire barrel as well as all the caps. Okay, so we just have the grill and the grill bolt selected. Okay, then we'll group this and we'll call that grill, and okay, and we'll center its pivot point. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing here. We'll do a mirror, copy on the X, and OK. Then we'll right click the move tool and we'll just take that minus sign out of there and hit enter. Okay, then we'll close that. We'll check it out in here. And that should line everything up evenly on both sides. Okay, so let's unhide all. Okay, and we'll see how this looks. Okay, it's not looking bad. Still have quite a bit of work to do, but it's coming along.